Moldy coffee, one of the most trendy terms in all of coffee right now, and something that we get so many questions about is, hey, do you guys test your coffee for mold like I'm seeing other coffee roasters doing? And I kind of want to talk about how mold testing in coffee doesn't really accomplish what you think it would. So there's been a lot of concerns about mold in coffee and how it can be incredibly toxic, incredibly dangerous for human consumption. And one of the solutions to that, or kind of the solution that's popping up, is to send a sample of green unroasted coffee into a mold testing lab, and then the coffee roaster will put on a bag that it's mold tested and mold free. A lot of times that coffee was harvested off of the coffee tree somewhere around 3 to 6 months ago if it's specialty coffee, and a lot of times if it's commercial coffee it can be like 1 to 3 years ago. Now the first thing I want to tell you about mold testing is it only tells you that that coffee is mold free at one point in time. So a coffee roaster can bring in 1,000 pounds of green unroasted coffee, take a small sample, send it off to a lab, get back that the coffee is mold free, start selling that coffee as mold free, and continue to sell it as mold tested for 6 months, a year, 3 years, for an indefinite period of time. And that's because there's no regulation around how long a roaster can say that their coffee was mold tested and mold free. Now, being coffee roasters, we have our own process on how we make sure that our coffee is fresh and is mold free, because we don't want to be harming any of our customers, and we also want our coffee to be as good a quality as possible. And there's really 3 things that we do. First, we only buy freshly harvested coffee. So if you buy a bag of coffee from us, typically it was harvested off of the coffee plant, the coffee tree, about 3 to 6 months ago. That makes sure that every single bag is fresh and of the highest quality possible. The second thing that we do is every time we go to a coffee farm to buy coffee, we bring a moisture meter with us. And I'll put a picture of one up on the screen. It's a black device that you put some of the green unroasted coffee beans in, and it tells you the moisture content of the beans. So we're looking for coffee beans with a moisture content of 12% or below. That means that the beans are shelf stable and they're less conducive to going bad, to rotting, to mold, anything like that. And the third thing that we do is we evaluate our coffee every single day. A trained coffee evaluator that's doing cuppings daily can spot mold in their coffee from a mile away. You can taste as that coffee's starting to go bad. It's so pronounced, and you'll start to get notes of green pepper, cardboard, lipstick. You'll pick up different defects that you can tell that that coffee is starting to go bad way before there's even a presence of mold that will show up in a mold test. And I think a good way to think of this is when you go into a restaurant and order chicken, you're not asking if that chicken is E. coli tested. You trust the chef that's in the back of the restaurant that they're not providing their customers with rotten chicken because they care about their product and they care about keeping their clients safe. And I think that same trust should be applied to coffee roasters in the coffee industry. And that's why I think it's so important to buy coffee from independent small roasters, because they're going to care about the product and the quality of the product a heck of a lot more than the large commercial guys. So personally, I think mold testing in coffee is a bit of a gimmick, and I think the best thing that you can do is to support independent, small coffee roasters. I think that gives you the best shot of not worrying about mold in your coffee.